it's reminiscent for us of Stonehenge.
Yeah.
And it looks a little like the, what is the rock college?
Julia, look at me.
The Asian, not the Alaskan rock. Reminds me of the Alaskan rock.
Yeah.
The Inuit, I don't know what they're called. How they pile the rocks on top of another.
It makes me want to go to Stonehenge.
Yeah,
I like the spacing of it. It's open.
They look like human beings.
It's non-linear.
Yeah.
And it's a very peaceful space. The use of public space and kind of combining a modern space with the historical, monumental, epic structures.
One of the nice things is everybody seems to think it's interesting. Everybody seems.
I mean, it is interesting.
It takes me back to a historic time of when people did this by hand.
I have no idea. I'm sorry, we're not more profound.
It's okay.
We're supposed to be smart enough, but actually the truth is, I don't know.
Putting something old somewhere new. Because you look at all of the city, the buildings, and it's very modern, very present, and that's something from another time, just stuck right in the middle. It's sort of a mashup of history in the middle of Rockefeller Center.
If I had to guess, it might be that could be several things. It could be this is New York City, there's all these different people and they're full of stone, so well, these are stone people, so perhaps the message is one of maybe people grow more internal and become more hard in this city. Maybe it could be on the streets of New York, the people are very hard and the stone image. It does look permanent, especially the platform that it's on. Made me think it would be permanent, but
yeah, the fact that it's temporary makes it also that people, it's a reason to do something, to take advantage of it or see it, or I don't know, experience it, take a picture of it because it won't be here next month. Or
it could also mean that because it's temporary and the stone figures that resemble people are in their stone image, that it's temporary, meaning that people will change. People are always changing, so it's temporary. They're in this state, but when the exhibit goes down, that they will become they will be more transformed by humanity.
Yeah. How do you think that this piece fits in context with the rest of Rockefeller Center?
In context? Well, I don't think it is in context, and I think that's part of the point of it. I think it's completely out of context. It's out of place in the middle of New York City, and I think that's part of the point of putting it right in the center of it. Because Rockefeller Center is the center of the city.
What do you think is the purpose of public art?
Expression.
People are experiencing this in different ways, so a lot of people are taking pictures of this, and so if they weren't here, if things like weren't here, they wouldn't be. It gives people another reason to enjoy the space.
And especially with your kids, right?
Yeah, or with whoever. I mean, we've been standing here for probably half hour, 20 minutes, and 15 people have taken pictures with it. Whereas if it was just a blank patio, there's nobody taking pictures of the blank patio.
Exactly. Good point.
The purpose of public art is to make it accessible to everyone. Because you have art in a museum, and everyone, just because it's in a museum, everyone considers it high art and like things that they possibly can't understand. But when you put something on the street for people just to pass by, they feel more connected to it because it's just out there for anyone who wants to see it. And I feel like it's just a great way to bring art to people instead of making them come to the art.
Is there anything that you particularly like or dislike about these sculptures?
No, it's pretty creative, I think. Not everywhere has this.
I actually didn't know this was human.
Well, it is called human nature, so I guess they do look kind of humanoid, but they don't have arms, so I can see where that comes from. So after interviewing a few groups of bystanders about their thoughts on human nature, I took a while to form some of my own opinions about the sculptures. A lot of people mentioned in the previous interviews, the similarity between the sculptures and Stonehenge, which is a parallel that Rondinone consciously perpetrates, since he chooses well-patinated bluestone as his material. It's the same medium that composes Stonehenge. However, the sharp-hewn edges of human nature are a dead giveaway that these sculptures are from the last century. Not even the latest technology can replicate the test of time. Actually, as mentioned briefly in one of my interviews, these sculptures only stand from April 23rd to June 7th, 7 weeks, which is a fleeting blink of an eye when compared to how many millennia Stonehenge has witnessed. Somehow, though, I think the limited time frame is instrumental for Rondinone to convey many of the questions that human nature poses, like, why is there this timeless theme in human history of people reaching for the heavens with their creations? These humanoid forms of the sculptures and their historical forebears illustrates humanity's fascination with itself, and with what distinguishes the Homo sapiens from the rest of the animal kingdom. Another interesting feature that human nature has is it's surrounded by the entrappings of modern-day society, from skyscrapers to storefronts and to cars, even though it looks like it belongs in some windswept field in Scotland or something. It simultaneously points out what's different about the sculptures, the progress that people have made in terms of engineering and architecture, but also what's the same, like the intrinsic motivation behind monoliths. It kind of makes me think, does art really last as long as we think? How much progress in terms of human goals have we as a species made since the Paleolithic times? Maybe Rondinone's real goal in this piece was to posit that human nature is one of questioning, of reaching for the stars, or of holding on to our past but looking forward to the future, or of leaving a permanent legacy on the earth, or of constantly improving, growing, and transforming. But most importantly, it is human nature to ask, what is human?